there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be showing you another Tri-ang loco, and this is the Princess Royal in the maroon livery. And of course, as you can see, the special thing about this is that it's boxed. Now, the boxes aren't absolutely immaculate, yes, but it is quite interesting to see how the packaging was. Now this model came out in 1959, so that makes it almost 60 years old. So you're going to see how, you know, models 60 years ago in the 1950s and the 1960s used to be packaged. Yeah, let's get these out then. Let's have a look at the tender box, and as you can see by the end of it, this is R258, the Princess Royal tender maroon livery. So let's get this one out. Here it is, pretty good condition for its age, I'm sure you'll agree. Yes, the Princess Royal tender. More on that in just a second. But now let's get the locomotive out then. Here it is in its Tri-ang box. And if I show you the end of it, you can see that this is R258, which is the Princess Royal loco maroon livery. So let's get the lid off, and it just slides off like this. And you do have this little ticket, which I found very interesting, and it says, before operating, ensure that the model has been lubricated and avoid over-oiling. You've got some more on the back, a little bit about the motor and powering it. So yes, all very interesting, but let's get this one out then. And this is all the packaging was, just cardboard box like that. Okay, now I must admit that while the locomotive body is basically as it would have appeared in 1959, the chassis on this is slightly more modern, and I've put a more modern one on there. It's only a few years more modern, mind, just so that it runs better on modern track. So that's why I've done that, but let me put the tender with it. So there it is, number 46200, the Princess Royal. What a beautiful model. Here's a little bit of history on the class for you then. So the class first appeared in 1933, and they were designed by William Stanier, and these were his first 462 locomotives. The Princess Royal, which is this one, was the first of the class, and it was built in 1933 but withdrawn in 1962. Sadly, the locomotive wasn't preserved. 13 were built in total though, and sadly only 2 of those survived until the present day. And before I move on, here's a quick shout out to Toby the Tram, number 7 Productions, UNI Rodriguez, James Garbut, LNER 4472 and Brian Panier. Thank you guys for getting in touch. Okay folks, so there she is then, the Princess Royal loco against the white background. And as I said, the maroon version, which is this one, came out in 1959, but I'm also fairly sure that this body, the moulding, dates back to the very first Tri-ang locomotive to come out, and I think that one came out in the early 1950s. So that makes this moulding well over 60 years old, which is very impressive. Obviously it isn't like models these days where there's lots of different pieces slotted together. The body is actually just one moulded piece. So the chimney, the handrails, the cab, it's all part of the same moulding. With a couple of exceptions, you've got the separately fitted safety valves on the top here, which are metal, and also the buffers on the front there. But other than that, it is all just the one piece, which was very important because these were designed to be cheap and very affordable. But having said that, it is quite a sophisticated mould, as you can see. If we have a quick look inside the cab, you can see that they did include cab detail, which again, for the 1950s is very impressive, but obviously it isn't painted. But there is a fair amount of painting on the model though. You have the stripes, the lining on the boiler, and the handrail has been painted into silver as well. And obviously the, I don't know if, no, these wouldn't be heat printed, would they? I think these are painted on. You've got the Princess Royal text, which again, nicely applied, and the running number and the classification on the side of the cab. The tender is similarly detailed. You can see here that it has the British Railways crest. It is starting to show its age a little bit, that is, but again, it's not bad for nearly 60 years old. And the coal inside the tender, I believe it is removable, and it is quite fine scale as well, so it's certainly not bad looking. So there you have it then, the Princess Royal loco. Not a badly detailed loco for the age, but obviously it doesn't really stand up to the more modern locomotives, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. It absolutely has a real charm about it. Okay, let's get her running then. Okay, so there we have the Princess Royal in the maroon on the very outer line with some LMS coaches. Then on the middle line we have the more original Princess Victoria with some Pullman coaches. And then on the very inner line, the Princess Elizabeth in the green there, also with some LMS coaches. But now let's get that maroon princess tested at slow speeds and see how she does. Okay, here's a little bit of juice then to see how she does at those slow speeds. There we go. As you can see, quite a good crawler. Not great over the points because of course it is just 2 sets of pickups on each side. But let's get her off. There we go, little jumps on the points. Okay, and let's get Princess Victoria running with her Pullman coaches. There we go, and of course Princess Elizabeth with her other coaches. Well, other coaches. LMS coaches, of course. Okay, enjoy a running session with these and see if you can spot which of the other locos hidden on the line is not a Stania loco. And now for my ratings then on the Tri-ang Princess. Obviously these are quite harsh, but I must say I love these locos, but I just have to admit that some locos today run better and look better. But anyway, detail 5 out of 10, performance 6 out of 10, character 9 out of 10, build quality 9 out of 10, value 8 out of 10, which gives us overall 7.27 out of 10. And into the rankings, that makes her 16th, just below the Iron Duke and just above the P2. Okay then folks, well I hope you've enjoyed today's running session. I certainly have. I do love getting these Tri-ang logos out. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to leave the video a like or even a comment. And if you'd like to, you can check out the Facebook and Twitter pages too, and they're at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. It would be lovely to see you over there, but for now folks, thank you once again for watching. I really do appreciate your company. And I'll see you on Wednesday with something completely different once again. Alright folks, see you next time. Cheers everybody.